Manchester United 2, Brentford 1, and 3 points in the bag. Decent performance as well, I think. Especially, it was good defensive performance, especially in the second half. But first half was a little bit concerning. We gave Brentford quite a number of chances, and I think we were a little bit lucky to be going into half time 2-0 up. But in terms of the starting lineup, let's speak a little bit about that. So Lemens started in net. You had a back four of Dalot, Maguire, Heaven and Shaw, midfield two of Casemiro and Mainoo, and then a front three of Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad, and then Sesko up front. So the only change from my lineup was that Ahmad started ahead of Cunha. Ahmad started on the left wing ahead of Mateus Cunha, who was out of this game with a knock, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully he's not out for too long. Cunha, I think he's an important player for us, and even though Ahmad really hasn't in this season so far, he's not really delivered in terms of goals and assists like he did last season. But yeah, in terms of the first half, it was a decent start to the match for United, but it was Brentford had some of their own chances as well in terms of the first half. So in the second minute, Mainoo goes on an incredible run, and then he passes it to Amad Diallo, who has a shot saved. It was an amazing slaloming run from Mainoo, who manages to ride several challenges before the ball breaks to Amad Diallo inside the area. The Ivorian tries to slot home calmly, but the ball is deflected out of play. So it was a really close chance for United in the second minute. Then unfortunately, Luke Shaw picks up a yellow card in the 6th minute. His own error led to a poor challenge as Shada strides past Luke Shaw. Shaw brings him down as he breezed past him, and that's an early yellow for Luke Shaw in the 6th minute. So that could have been a little bit concerning, but unfortunately in the second half, Luke Shaw was taken off. I think he was injured, but hopefully he's not out for too long. He started every single match in the Premier League for United. Hopefully, he's not out. Then in the 8th minute, Kelleher has to make a save from Maguire. Kelleher has to make a save from Maguire. It was a typical bullet header from the United centre-back, who plants his head firmly on target from the short corner, and the subsequent Fernandes cross. Kelleher kept it out well with brilliant reflexes, but it was all United in terms of the first, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes. And then Brentford kind of grew into the game in terms of the first half after that. Then in the 11th minute, Casemiro gives United the lead. So this time it's a corner that comes in from... it's a corner that comes in from Bruno Fernandes. It's swung in towards the back post. Maguire, who appears to have quite a lot of freedom inside the box, he heads the ball back from deep into the penalty area. The header goes back across to Casemiro, who is on hand at the near post to nod home to make it 1-0. And it looks like as if Coyote was the one who should have been marking the Brazilian, but Casemiro breaks free from Coyote, and then he heads home to make it 1-0 in the 11th minute. So the early pressure that Man United had did pay off in that regard, because we got an early lead. But after that, Brentford has a couple of their own chances in the first half. Thiago goes close in the 15th minute. It's a huge let off for United as Thiago closes in on a dangerous cross. Somehow he misses his shot, and you can only presume that the sliding defensive tackle of Luke Shaw put him off. Luke Shaw kind of slides in to kind of cut out the cross, but if Luke Shaw does make contact, the ball could have ended up in the back of the net. So thankfully, it was an own goal. It wasn't an own goal, and Luke Shaw kind of put Thiago off, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. Then in the 17th minute, Lemens has to make a save. It's a brilliant chance for Coyote, who latches onto the stray ball inside the box. His attempted finish sees Lemens save with his left arm. He made his frame as big as possible, but the Brentford fullback will be disappointed with that. Then in the 20th minute, Lewis Potts has a shot on target, but it's comfortable save for Lemens at the end of the day. Then in the 35th minute, Thiago fluffs his lines. Thiago is put clean through by Otara. But as he strides purposefully into the penalty area, he somehow loses his footing and slices his effort as he falls. Lemens gathers calmly, and it's another big let off for United. Then in the 37th minute, it's another chance for Thiago. A simple ball over the top sees Thiago race into the box, but Heaven does well to chase back and send his leg to tackle him. The interception forces Lemens into a save, but it probably should have been 1-1 at that point. Thiago has got he's got two chances there in just as many minutes in the first half, and then Lemens has to make another save in the 30th minute. It's incredible reflexes. Thiago again, who gets something onto the cross, into the area. It may have hit his chest, but Lemens beats it away once again. I think it does come off Aiden Heaven's arm, and it kind of goes towards goal, heading towards the top corner. It comes off Heaven's arm, and had that gone in, it would have been a goal for Brentford. Of course, it wouldn't have been a handball, but yeah, I think it does come off Aiden Heaven's arm, goes towards goal, and Lemens has to make a brilliant reflex save to keep the score at 1-0. Then in the 41st minute, Ahmad has the ball in the back of the net, but is ruled out for offside, and he really should have been holding on to his run. Bruno Fernandes would have had another assist. However, in the 43rd minute, Sesko does make it 2-0 to United. It's a free-flowing move that is initiated by a tackle from Ahmad. Bruno Fernandes counterattacks with pace after Brentford push for an equaliser. It's a 3v2 break in United's favour. Fernandes runs into space, timing his pass expertly as he enters the box, and the ball comes to Sesko. He checks inside the sliding challenge of Collins and slams the finish home with a ferocious right-footed shot, giving Kelleher no chance. And Bruno Fernandes, of course, comes away with the assist. He's on 19 assists now in the Premier League. Obviously, he's only one away from equaling Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry's record of 20 assists, and he's 2 assists away from breaking that record, so hopefully he can do so. I think there's 4 games remaining in the Premier League. Hopefully he can break that record. I think Bruno Fernandes deserves it. He's been such a obviously best signing post at Alex Ferguson, and arguably what a signing he has been in terms of the Premier League era as well. In terms of the halftime summary, it was a decent first half, because we went into halftime 2-0 up. Defensively, though, it wasn't amazing. We gave Brentford far too many chances, in my opinion. In terms of the first half, United had 46% possession, Brentford had 54%, but with that, we had 8 shots, 5 on target, 1.15 XG, and Brentford had 6 shots, 2 on target, with an XG of 0.72. So in terms of the second half kicks off. That's the starting 11 that started, obviously, Ahmad on the left wing. Then in the second half, so Ahmad does go off for Mazraoui, and then United went with wing backs as well in terms of the second half to help shore up that defensive unit. Shaw and Dalot were the wing backs who were tasked with helping quell the threats down the flanks. Then in the 47th minute, United have a chance. It's Luke Shaw who flashes his effort. The ball drifts in from the right wing, and Shaw is left unmarked on the left edge of the box, and he swings his volley and he slices it, getting it all wrong, unfortunately, and skews it horribly off target. Possibly he could have done better with that chance. Then in the 70th minute, Otara hits off the post. Casemiro flicks on a Brentford corner from the left. It travels to the far post where Otara does well to head down, but it hits the post and comes back out. The wide man tries to acrobatically get another shot off, but Maguire gets his head in the way and earns a free kick, with Otara penalised for a high boot. Then we decide to make a couple of more substitutions. Carrick decides to take off Shaw and Mbumo, and then on come Euro on Mount. Luke Shaw appeared to pick up a knock, and hopefully can finish the season. He has never played in all 38, he has never started in all 38 games since he joined United, so hopefully he can kind of beat that duck and start in every single Premier League game. Hopefully he's not out. It would be really disappointing if he can't finish the season. I think we've only got, like I said, I think we've only got 4 games left now. Yeah, we've only got 4 games left now. So hopefully Luke Shaw can start the remaining 4 games and finish the season. With 38 games started, and I think it's been a decent season for Luke Shaw, and hopefully that can continue. Then in the 76th minute, Casemiro goes close for the second goal. From 25 yards out, Casemiro cuts across the ball with a stinging right foot drive. It goes slightly wide off the post, and despite fierce protests, Casemiro can't persuade the referee to award a corner, and no deflection. The referee says there wasn't a deflection. I don't think there was, but yeah. And then in the 88th minute, to make matters a little bit nervy for the end of the game, Brentford make it 2-1 through Jensen. The Brentford midfielder steps on to the right of Sesko to create a bit of room just outside the area. He then whips a beautiful right-footed shot into the left corner of the goal, and away from the hand of Lemens. And Brentford make it 2-1. A little bit disappointing that we aren't able to come away with a clean sheet. Then finally we make the final substitution of the match. Sesko does go off for Xerxes, and Xerxes sees out the remaining of the game by wasting time. He picks up a yellow card as well, just to kind of waste a little bit of time by kicking the ball away. But yeah, overall, happy with the win. Good 3 points, and obviously that almost basically secures our Champions League football, because the next closest team to us are Brighton, who are on. We'll take a look at the league table in just a bit, but you know what? Right now, what we'll do, we'll go through the player ratings, and then we'll take a look at the league table. But yeah, of Lemens here, he's got a 7.5 here. I think that he was largely kept quiet throughout the game. Yeah, made 5 saves. Well, not necessarily quiet, but I think that Brentford were a little bit unlucky in the first half not to be getting some chances. He does make 5 saves at the end, so he's had a little bit of a busy game. Possibly, he could have been doing better. He couldn't have done anything about the goal, because basically in the corner it comes off the post. So yeah, not really much can be said about Lemens. Decent performance. I think that defensively, up until we conceded, we were okay. Dalot, except for the first half. I think first half definitely we could have done better defensively. Dalot, 29 out of 33 accurate passes with 88%. Duels, he's won 4 out of 8, so he's won 50% of his duels. Maguire comes away with the assist for the first goal, so he's done well there, heading that ball back across goal for Casemiro to head home in the 11th minute. 33 out of 37 accurate passes, 89%, and he's won 8 out of 9 of his duels, so he's won the majority of his duels, so he's done well there in my opinion. And Aiden Heaven, 3 out of 5 duels won, 29 out of 32 accurate passes, 91%. Decent performance by Aiden Heaven as well. Luke Shaw, unfortunately, picked up a yellow card early on. Lasted 73 minutes was because he was brought off as a precautionary measure, because he picked up a knock. Hopefully he's not out, like I mentioned. I want to see him start every single game, every single remaining game, because he started every single Premier League game so far this season. Hopefully he can make the 4 remaining games as well. 22 out of 29 accurate passes, 85%. In terms of his duels, he's won 8 out of 10 of his duels, so he's won the majority of his duels as well. And I think he's a little bit unlucky not to be in any England squad right now. I'm not sure if he'll be going to the World Cup, but my priority is Manchester United, so hopefully Luke Shaw can kind of start the remaining games. We've got 4 games left. Hopefully he can start all of them, and yeah, Casemiro comes away with the goal again. He's had such a really good season for us. I think he scored 10 Premier League goals. We'll take a look at the stats in just a second, but good header, being at the right place at the right time, getting free of his marker. 42 out of 49 accurate passes, and then he's got involved in, that's 86% as well, and he's got involved in a lot of duels here. That is 16 out of 18 duels, so he's got really well stuck in. He's come away with man of the matches here on Football, and he was man of the match on Sky Sports as well. I think he probably is man of the match. He's done really, really well in my opinion, and this has probably been by far his best season for us in the 4 years he's been here. I think I'm pretty sure it's been 4 years. This has probably been his best season so far. And this match, he's coming away with 16 duels won. 16 duels won out of a possible 18. So he's done really, really well in my opinion, and probably is man of the match in my opinion as well. Mainoo, 47 out of 55, 85%. Duels won 8 out of 12, so he's won the majority of his duels as well, and he's only going to get better with age. He's only 21 years of age, and he's going to only get better in my opinion. And then Brian Mbeumo, 18 out of 21 accurate passes with 86%, and duels he's won 3 out of 3, so he's done decently well there. Possibly could be doing a little bit better going forward. I don't remember him having any shots or anything like that. Only 1 pass into the final third. Chances created, I can't see any here, so possibly could be doing better, Brian Mbeumo. And then Bruno Fernandes, done decently well in my opinion. 9 defensive contributions as well, which is decent. 40 out of 47 accurate passes, 85%. In terms of his duels, he's not won as many as he should be, winning 2 out of 7, so not great there. But he's coming away with the assist there. He's on 19 Premier League assists so far, and hopefully he breaks the record. But yeah, Ahmad lasted 45 minutes, was kind of sacrificed at half time so that we could have switched to a 3 at the back with Maguire, Heaven, and Mazraoui as the back 3. Obviously, Mazraoui filling in at right centre back, Maguire in the centre, and then Aiden Heaven at left centre back. Then Luke Shaw and Diego Dalot as wing backs. So Ahmad had a little bit of a quiet first half, in my opinion. 1 out of 3 duels won. He's not had the best of seasons, in my opinion, but he was decent last season, so hopefully he can have a good season next season as well. And then Benjamin Sesko, 11 out of 21 accurate passes with 52%, and then 7 out of 12 duels won, so he's won the majority of his duels, coming away with the goal as well. Clinical. He's got his chance, and he scored with that 1 shot on target, 1 chance created as well. So decent performance by Benjamin Sesko, obviously scoring the decisive goal in the match. Then the substitutes, Mazraoui came on, neat and tidy in possession, 88% pass accuracy, 21 out of 24. 3 out of 5 duels won, so that's decent. And then Lenny Yoro, didn't really get involved too much, only on the pitch for 17 minutes. Didn't get involved in any duels. Mason Mount, 9 out of 9 accurate passes, 1 out of 2 duels won. And then Xerxes coming on for a couple of minutes at the end there, picks up a yellow card for time wasting, and that was it really, because he's kicked the ball out, so he picked up a yellow card. But yeah, overall, happy with the win, happy with the 3 points. It almost mathematically secures us for Champions League football. Not quite, because we still have the possibility that we could lose our remaining games, and then I think Brighton could overtake us possibly. So if there's 4 games remaining, if Brighton win, because Brighton are the only for us to drop out of the top 5, 4 games remaining, that's 12 points. If Brighton were to win their remaining games, they would move to 62 points. And we're on 61 right now. So if we were to lose basically our 4 remaining last games, then we would drop out. We would most likely drop. We would drop out the top 5. We've got Liverpool next. So one more win, a win against Liverpool, would mathematically secure Champions League football for next season, which is what we want, what we're looking for, which was what Carrick set out to do in terms of when he was replaced by Ruben Amorim. So hopefully we can do that. Our next match is up against Liverpool at home on the 3rd of May. So hopefully we can kind of come away with 3 points in that game as well and secure Champions League football. And obviously beating Liverpool would be a massive confidence boost in terms of rivalry and stuff. So hopefully we can do that as well. But overall today, happy with the win, happy with the 3 points. A little bit shaky first half performance, but we improved defensively in the second half despite the goal that Brentford scored. A little bit unlucky not to be coming away with a clean sheet, but like I said, 3 points is all that matters. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.